Hello and welcome to the first official Today in Film podcast. I'm your host Dominic Parry, and with me today are
Greg Toby
and Howard Gibbons.
Right, that went well. So, first off, we're going to be discussing High Rise today, but we're just going to go through some of the recent news in the film world first. So we're going to start off with Last Night in Soho. So, Harry, do you want to start that?
Yeah, no problem. So this is Edgar Wright's originally slated mid to late September 2020 horror drama that was shot beginning this mid to late 2019 was the sort of ideas stage, and in 2020 it had been doing all of its principal photography and filming with stars like Anya Taylor-Joy and Matt Smith, and obviously the new Thomasin McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit, Taika's 2020 movie. And due to this absolute pandemic and movie progress halting situation, we have been revealed today that the initial release date has been pushed back all the way to spring 2021.
Oof.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
This COVID
It's a
situation,
long time. That's going to be
Well,
definitely a sort of production problem.
I mean, the fact that it hasn't finished yet is kind of good that they pushed it back that far.
Yeah, it gives them more time.
So, next in the news is Scott Derrickson, the director of Doctor Strange, is set to direct a Labyrinth sequel. Now, I have not seen Labyrinth, so have either of you got any more information on that?
Yes, we both, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's a classic from...
Yeah, I mean,
mostly
Labyrinth
known for its
is...
David Bowie sort of star.
Oh, exactly. You know, it's got Bowie, George Lucas, Jim Henson.
Yeah.
It's a perfect, trio, really.
I think the only thing I saw on it was
Probably
people...
could be, though, how set in the time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know people are asking, like, who's going to replace David Bowie?
You can't.
Yeah. But obviously the character is important to it, so...
Very good point. I'm reading from Sky News that
Yeah.
Scott Derrickson has confirmed that he'll be directing a direct sequel to the 86 classic. However, it has to be some sort of in-world spin-off, because Jennifer Connelly obviously isn't 16, I believe she was when it first came out. So Jennifer Connelly is
she was young.
probably not going to be a main feature.
Well, you say
But
that.
is sadly not with us anymore.
I mean, it kind of shown in 2018 with Halloween. I mean, you would probably have said back then,
Oh, yes. That's a good point.
because obviously if Jamie Lee Curtis is going to do it,
Yeah,
then
that's so
course,
true.
you
Jamie
can't
Lee
really
Curtis.
sign these people
Jamie
off.
Lee Curtis.
Right, so,
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a very good point. I didn't think about that. And it's quite a fantastical tale anyway, so there might be some sort of leeway with in-world realism that we don't really have to sort of,
True.
suspension of disbelief for the purpose.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So we've actually got, in about the past week, a few different things to do with superhero movies. So, I think just over a week ago, Mark Guggenheim, I think he's one of the showrunners for the Arrowverse, or at least I know he's worked on the Arrowverse. He's writing a new Spider-Man movie based on the character Jackpot, who is basically looks like Mary Jane. Is a bit like Mary Jane, but isn't Mary Jane.
Okay.
To kind of spoil it a bit.
Interesting.
Then, obviously, the biggest news is...
So, you've clearly,
Yeah.
I'd say you're obviously one of the more resident comic fans. Could
Yeah.
you elaborate, sort of, with the
So,
character? Do we know any sort of basic
all
ideas
I
what it could be about?
all I remember is basically... I think it was like Mary Jane was missing or something, and she turned up, and kind of Peter Parker goes like, "Oh, she's a redhead. It must be her."
Oh,
So
is this the 90s by any chance?
I think it might have been early 2000s.
Oh,
I think so. but
Gosh.
because obviously they were coming off the 90s and it was all
Yeah,
like
definitely do
revamp
the research on
everything.
that, because that's not very Spider-Man, is it?
I've not
For
read
Sony.
her stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the Sony Spider-Verse thing. So like the Silver Sable or whatever it is they're sort of talking
Ah,
about.
okay,
Oh,
explains it.
interesting. So he's jumped his. Wow,
Hmm.
So
that's going
that's
to be very interesting, because
it's going to be
obviously
different.
the Arrowverse is very popular, and yeah, definitely.
I think
No, definitely.
I'm pretty certain he's written
Yes,
comics
yeah.
as well. So he's someone who's worked with comic properties. It's
That's
quite a good
So he
idea.
knows what
good
he's doing.
start, at least.
And then obviously the biggest news this week is the Snyder Cut on HBO Max in 2021.
Yes.
Gosh, yes.
Although
The
where it
possible
will be,
rebirth, not to use
yeah.
the pun, but of the DC.
ah, I don't personally think it's going to be, because they have Jeff Johns, and I think that they want to do what they're doing now. Like, even if this does go well, they're not going to hand it back to Zack Snyder.
Right.
I think maybe they would do here's
No.
some films, but it wouldn't be handed straight back to him. It'd kind of be, we like what we're doing now.
The full creative control.
No, yeah.
Yeah, because I think
Exactly.
having Jeff Johns, who is a very good comic book writer, in charge of it, has written some of the best events in modern kind of comics, especially DC side.
Like overrule and overrun, like do all of the runs for DC for a while as well.
He
Like their creative.
He was
directors
the
for DC comics.
he was the head of it basically. I think he was the editor in chief or whatever it is. I think, but basically he had the run that kind of brought back interest in Green Lantern and stuff like that. So him doing it is kind of
Capable
the
hands.
best thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Amazing. It's at least what they could hope for. I mean, HBO Max patrons will be having a 3.5 hour long Zack Snyder cut of Justice to go through first. And
I mean,
it could make or break
Oh,
that
yeah,
sort of.
like almost
I don't
4
think
hours,
it
I
would make or break the
think.
fan base. However,
I'm still hoping
oh wow,
a little bit that it is kind of crap, just for those kind of toxic fans. So
Just
kind
for
of,
spite.
just for those ones, because some of them, when it got
free
announced,
trial though, because
it better come over it, because I want to go see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well, not go see it, but like, I mean, if it came out in cinemas, I would. But, yeah.
about
totally.
6 months ago he was talking about all of the animation segments of the film. I really think that could be quite jarring for someone who,
Oh
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
diehard sort of fan for this product to be coming out.
because they
This could be a
Yeah,
big
sort of
problem,
a
being forced, like
like
so
a
this
work
is how it
print.
would have looked if we had the money to do it.
they're kind of expecting like
Yes,
the
exactly.
Snyder cut, but they can't reshoot it as such. So it's
absolutely.
gonna be like, it's probably gonna be kind of half and half animation, CGI, like
Yeah.
reusing footage and
I
kind of
just hope it's a passion project,
yeah. Hopefully, it's not crap.
like it's got heart
the
in it.
thing,
And it's not
yeah.
just HBO throwing a load of money at
Not
Snyder.
sort
And
of-
going, we'll put the Snyder cut on and it'll make sales.
You
go through
asked
the
for
roof
it.
of-
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
coming up,
That could be the problem, or the backlash. It'd be like, it's crap, but you asked for it, so here you are.
yeah.
And then welcome to another 9 months of subscriptions
totally.
to HBO Max.
I mean,
It could
coming
be that sort of thing.
if it comes out and it is kind of awful or just bad, then those fans will shut up instantly and hide away and act like they never did anything. And
No, definitely.
that shows how like toxic they
It
have
would be
been.
It'd be like a failed experiment, wouldn't it? They just wouldn't talk
Oh, yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I mean, if only it was April 1st when they
Hollywood's
said
best
this.
unkept secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, April
definitely.
1st.
yeah. But in
So,
kind of
In other
retaliation
news,
to
we've
that,
got the. Oh,
do you see the Aya cut thing? The Suicide Squad?
I have not. Oh,
Well,
No.
basically, people have been asking.
Oh. No. Was it
Yeah.
anything to call home about?
So basically, it's just people have been asking him would you be interested in doing an Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad? Because obviously that was kind of said about, it was cut up and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, a lot of studio
he's-
interference.
Yeah, he's kind of said, yeah. James Gunn has said, yeah, I don't really mind, but the likelihood of that happening is probably not as kind of out there, is it? Because I mean, with James
David
Gunn,
Ayer, still made the film. It's not like it was handed over to another.
yeah,
That's the problem with that. Obviously, Justice League
Yeah.
was a slight bit of injustice. God rest Zack Snyder's daughter, but there was literal production problems. I mean, there was a lot of studio interference with Suicide Squad. However, David Ayer still made the product, and it was his final version of it. If you know what I mean.
yeah, it's
It's an interesting thing. I hope it's not some bandwagon.
Although,
I've seen a few Boss Logic on Instagram and stuff, on the artist that does some stuff for them.
The artist.
He's the second the Snyder Cut was out, the next day he
yeah,
was putting up
he
Ayer
does some
cut stuff.
great digital art.
He does, but then he was putting out the Ayer cut stuff, and I thought, you've got this one, just stop at this one. Don't continue
Yeah.
it, because
That's a sad state for films to get in. We've got
Exactly,
reboots,
just have your cake and
remakes,
eat it.
now just recuttings of films using. Exactly, that is it. Is really just going that step too far. That I mean, is there much of an ask for a Suicide Squad recut when we're
No.
getting James Gunn?
no, not at all. It's not. We're
making a
getting.
Suicide Squad in the next 2 years.
We've got James Gunn, who is, Suicide Squad. One of the biggest issues with it was they had the soundtrack, and they had the soundtrack because of Guardians. But Guardians has it for a reason, where Suicide
Yes.
Squad didn't. So to have James Gunn do
Yeah,
it,
it's very much bandwagony.
Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is, James Gunn has said that it's going to be more about the kind of earlier comics, so kind of Task Force X,
Brilliant.
rather than Suicide Squad.
Oh, good.
And obviously with Guardians, pardon?
Oh, it's just exactly what he should be doing.
Yeah,
James Gunn is one of the most capable,
Oh.
comic-loving directors. I feel it's in his hands perfectly. I wouldn't want it by anyone else.
Yes.
the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy was relatively unknown, and now it's a household name.
No, exactly. They're just as big as the Avengers, if
Yeah.
not bigger.
I mean, people go
Yeah.
people had an outcry when he got fired for a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yes.
This isn't Captain America or
It's
Spider-Man.
crazy.
Like,
It's not a Robert Downey Jr. led Iron Man film either.
No.
It's not that there was the star power grabbing it, and it was just the love of the product. And
which is
That's
kind of the thing. People saying about Eternals being a bit of a, I guess a bit of
Bit
a
too out
risk. It's a bit out there, but it isn't for the MCU now. If this was, if the Guardians hadn't happened, and Ant-Man and all that, it was just Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, then yeah, this would be the worst decision ever.
Oh, definitely.
No one will
Scroll
go
on
and see
Squirrel
that.
Girl now. That's about it.
I mean, Squirrel Girl,
I mean, this
it's one of those overrated ones.
absolutely. It's
Like-
the one people use.
It's
Oh, yes,
yeah.
I know comics if I know Squirrel Girl. Come on, it's
No.
it's
I mean,
like
Eternals.
one of those deep cuts that isn't a deep cut.
Yeah, Eternals
is a
has
deep
Black
cut.
Knight. You know what Black Knight is, or you've probably heard about it though.
It's,
The only
yeah,
Eternal I
there's
really know is
different incarnations,
Hyperion.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. But, Kit Harington playing Black Knight. Now,
Excellent. That's a
the second, the fact they didn't announce that until a bit later on, Captain Britain is going to
last
come into
year's
the MCU.
Comic-Con.
It was, yeah, but they'd announced Eternals before that, hadn't they? I think.
Yes.
So yeah,
Much before I think it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
part of
18
the
or
Phase
17
4,
maybe?
yeah.
to announce Kit Harington as Black Knight. It's kind of after
yeah.
the leaks about Captain Britain and the Black Knight, which weren't really leaks. I think that was made up by some worker.
There was the
If-
rumours that they were doing auditions in Pinewood, London, weren't they? I remember
Yeah.
reading that.
But the
Okay.
thing is,
like the likes of the names of Christian Bales and the Charlie Hunnam.
that
We don't know.
Captain Britain, Captain Britain and Black Knight by Guy Ritchie, that was never gonna happen. Like, and it could happen.
No, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it sounds like they got two British characters essentially and said, "What if this British director did it?"
Yeah, this legendary British
Absolutely.
director.
Yeah. They could have
It's
said
Edgar Wright and Ant-Man all over again.
Yeah. So,
And obviously we know how that turned, so...
Ooh.
only other thing related to comics really is that Henry Cavill is kind of in talks. And I think it was confirmed today that it won't be a solo movie if he comes back. So I think
As
he's kind of...
recording the 29th of May, so...
Yeah.
We're not fully sure on the... We haven't had the official DC announcement
I mean,
of sorts yet, but it's
it'll be a
all but confirmed,
pain.
isn't it, that some product.
It'll be a pain tomorrow if
um,
something happens.
Yes, honestly.
You know, Eternals trailer drops or
We'll beat them
something.
to it by saying that it's confirmed that Henry Cavill will be in 18 more Superman films today, and so we have no idea. But
With Sonic the
all we know
Hedgehog.
is-
Oh, God.
So, Superman will feature in Sonic the Hedgehog 2,
That's confirmed as well.
Tokyo Drift.
Directed by James Wan.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Wan's Tokyo Drift, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
the last bit of news is... I think you probably know what I'm talking about now, don't you?
The Mario movie?
We're talking about the Tenet
No,
trailer.
not the Mario movie,
The
or the
Mario movie?
Tetris. It came out the other day.
The Tetris. Oh,
The Tetris movie
debuted on
came out the other day. Like,
possibly the film that may have been debuted on Fortnite of all platforms.
I don't think it was. I don't think Tenet was on Fortnite.
No,
Yes,
the
it was,
trailer
which
was
is the weird
debuted, yeah.
development.
Wait, Tenet was debuted on
In a
Fortnite.
weird, in a weird spin of fate,
What?
Christopher Nolan and whatever production a genius decided to debut the trailer for Tenet. I'm not sure quite. What are we settling on? Are we?
Tenet.
Do we know
Tenet?
for sure?
It's Tenet because I think in the
Tenet?
trailer they do say Tenet, and they kind of
Okay.
because they
Tenet, yeah.
because
Well, it was
they
debuted in Fortnite.
I don't know if you're being serious or not. I can't tell.
Oh,
Just-
completely.
No, he's
Utterly
serious.
Which is the shocking development in the story. And I think there's been rumours or a confirmed tale that they're going to air the film for free in a one-time showing on Fortnite as well as part of a deal.
Oh, better get on Fortnite, guys, then.
Which
I
is,
mean, I don't.
so we're talking to Christopher Nolan, obviously, who has previously mentioned that all films should be experienced in the cinema in the true place of worshipping
But then
film stock.
he
Is
played
the same man now
Fortnite.
who's debuting? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Then
played
you play
Fortnite. It's just like,
and,
guys,
you know,
I mean,
guys, you need to get on this right now.
I'm
This
just
is the new
waiting for
cinema.
Chicken Run 2.
Which is Chicken Run 2 debuting on
It was meant to come out next year,
Is
wasn't
that what
it?
we're talking
So
about?
I don't know,
Is that-
but
wait, oh god, I feel like we're exchanging different like stories of failed possible dreams. There was a Chicken Run 2 meant to come in.
no, it's been announced.
yeah, they're
It's
making
coming.
it.
It's
Yeah, it was
I-
supposed to be coming next year.
hard,
So
man.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
ready.
yeah.
Be ready, be there. Wow, nobody calls me chicken. Yeah, no, it's one of those. We're
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't see.
but yeah, so that is
I can't see any other
Crazy
news
developments.
apart from.
Apart from that, no.
I mean,
mostly
there's
at the moment the buzz between DC and Edgar Wright is kind of
Yeah.
and the lab
And Tenet.
from Scott Derrickson, and yeah, Tenet, which overall obviously it's probably talked to death about on YouTube and podcasts all around, but however
Yeah.
we're all excited, right?
No, definitely, yeah.
yeah, but
I was expecting a no.
no, it's because I haven't really watched many of his films. I need to watch Inception,
Yeah.
but like I am. It looks
Greg, you're
interesting.
a resident Nolan fan, aren't you? With The Prestige and
Oh,
I think
I
you
watched
probably
I watched the
both
trailer
well.
for that yesterday. I was going to watch it, but it's not on Amazon, so you know. Oh well.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
With the world at our fingertips, it's tough when they don't give us exactly what we fancy, isn't it? It's tough.
Well, I mean, Cuban Fury. That's pretty much all I need.
Cuban Fury.
Cuban.
So yeah, anyone looking for salsa Nick Frost?
Oh,
Take our
Cinematic
take our,
masterpiece.
like
it is an amazing
yeah,
film.
exactly. Scorsese said it's better than cinema. And and God
apparently-
himself, and every other deity, Zeus and everyone, made Cuban Fury for us.
No, apparently the MCU are actually doing a Cuban Fury movie with Bruce Garrett as the lead.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be
Amazing.
too salsa, too serious,
Oh, too salsa, too furious.
too serious.
I want the She-Hulk in her form, but with Bruce Banner as Mark Ruffalo in a Cuban Fury film. That's what I want. It's just
Oh no,
my dream that will I
That's
have
what
to
we
take
need.
to the grave with.
with Olivia Colman as She-Hulk, obviously.
Olivia Colman as She-Hulk
Oh, yeah, of course.
in that super endgame CGI
Oh,
Mark
that would
Ruffalo face, but Olivia Colman
I would not
as
complain. That would
superstar
be
lawyer, green. Oh
That
my
would
God,
be
green machine
amazing.
superstar lawyer Olivia Colman.
Another Oscar's coming through her way.
well. We're at about
Exactly.
21 minutes, so that's probably a
Already?
good
Wow.
start
So
section.
exactly. Is it
So,
a good time to talk about a film that we could all access?
They
at
were
our
talking
fingertips?
about Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers.
Obviously, the greatest film of all time.
Yes, Steven Spielberg's Cat in the Hat. Oh god,
So-
I don't even know who made that film. That's a
Oh,
cursed product.
I actually, I was having a look earlier, and I think that killed the guy's career. So, yeah,
Well, I'm not surprised.
Wait, didn't he make like The Grinch and stuff as well?
no, he didn't.
I'm
No.
pretty sure.
I don't know.
Ron
No,
Well-
it was Ron Howard.
Yeah, but no,
Wait, is that a joke?
No.
I was gonna say it better be.
I mean, if James Gunn can make
I don't even know
Scooby
where
Doo,
the bit ends anymore.
right?
Exactly, and Zeus
And what-
could make Cuban Fury.
Yeah.
Ron Howard can do The Grinch.
So, what film is it we're actually talking about then?
High Rise.
Not Cat in the Hat. High Rise.
Who's it by?
2015's High Rise, directed by Ben Wheatley. Wheatley?
Oh, it's Wishaw or something.
Wheatley.
No,
Wishaw's,
yeah, Ben Wheatley.
Ben Wishaw's,
No.
Yeah, the
Hugh
actor.
from the
Yeah.
Bond films.
Yeah, I'm completely off
And
there.
also Paddington.
Yeah,
Paddington Bear.
no, he was in that. He was in the Bunny and the Bull that I was on about. So that's why it kind of threw me off.
Ah.
Cross, yeah, no problem at all. It's seemingly very divisive, which I didn't really notice until. Obviously, we had a little bit of a discussion before when we were watching it in our different sort of. Whoever watched it first was talking about it. I didn't realise
Yeah.
that the public consensus was almost 50-50.
Oh
We're
yeah,
talking 5.6 out of 10, 60% Rotten Tomatoes, and 2.7 out of 5 on Amazon. So I'm
Well,
imagining there's 1 stars and 5 stars all round.
the thing is, it's. I imagine that they're like, oh, it's acted well and directing's well. However, it just loses its shit halfway through. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it
It's-
for that
Yeah.
after the little montage, whatever, and it goes all crazy at the party, or whatever.
Party montage we're on about with the water, yeah.
Well,
Yes.
no, it was like, when he's like, when it kind of goes into like the downfall, and it's just him going to work,
Oh,
and like, then after
Yes.
that, it's all like
That
chaos. That bit after that, it's just like 10 minutes of what the hell's going on here. I'm completely lost now. The paint thing,
I feel like the substance of that montage would have been a very interesting
that should have
second
been,
act of the film.
yeah, that should have been
Like-
like a big part of the film. Not like,
But it was compressed.
Honestly,
I
it was
mean-
just the tiniest little bit, and then it was like the world was switched as soon as the montage finished.
yeah.
Under our noses, just
I think the best detail though,
strange.
the best detail is how Reece Shearsmith's character, the dentist, still has nice white teeth at the end.
Beautifully
Yeah,
shiny.
somehow.
teeth.
Yeah, he still has
Well,
nice
that
teeth.
we-
Well, he's an
and-
orthodontist.
and
That is,
he's an author, as he makes sure to tell us
yeah.
many a time.
Uh,
Yeah, there was some very nuanced, like, British TV performances in
Oh yeah,
that film. Like,
I
people
mean,
from adverts, people from bit part roles in TV.
this
They were
came out in
littered
2015,
throughout.
and the year later, Fleabag came out, and obviously Fleabag's dad is in it.
Oh gosh.
He's only in a little bit.
Yes.
He's so tiny. I was like, what? Like, what's going on with this guy?
Is he the one at the
Did Greg just lose
Shakespearean
connection?
talk at the end where the
Yeah.
big will topple the small?
Well, they're all sat.
Just,
They're sat in the room talking about the poor. There's like the 5 of them or 6 of them. They've like they're all
yes.
going to kill people.
It was a tiny moment. Oh yeah, full spoilers by the way. If anyone hasn't
Yeah.
seen the film already, we're going to be discussing everything. So yeah, it's given mostly with unless there's a hotly anticipated film that we're talking about, we're genuinely going to be spoiler horrific.
Yeah,
If that's
it's
okay.
it's a discussion about the films. So when a new film comes out, if we've seen it, we'll try and give our kind of thought on it, but no kind of cheating and telling you what happens,
Absolutely.
because I hate that and it's horrible.
Yeah.
I think
We're
Greg's
not
back.
going to be the enemy.
I am back. Sorry
Yep.
about that.
So anyway,
Greg hath returned.
while you were gone, we worked out the whole thing about the paint.
Yes.
Yeah, we just described. We found. Oh, Greg, you missed it. We found out all of the secrets and all of the hidden things.
Oh,
We're never
no,
gonna tell
you're
you
kidding
that
me.
because of your Wi-Fi wrongdoings. Yeah, it's
Here we
gonna happen.
go.
Yeah, so
It's a staple forever now. If anyone ever disconnects, that's it. You're either banished forever, or we just won't
That's the
ever
thing,
tell
yeah.
you what we discovered.
so
Tom, at least we'll know. At least we'll know.
yeah, so the paint thing is somehow my biggest issue of this film, because I don't have a clue what it's actually about.
No, I
It
don't
seems
get
to
it.
be.
I know I know at the start he paints over the like microphone, but then in the supermarket later he fights over a can of paint, and it's like, what?
And
Why?
brutally beats
Yeah,
over the.
Yeah.
pop the guy's eye apparently.
I only have one theory about it, and it's a
Go
bit
on.
kind of long-winded. Well, not long-winded, but it's a bit of a grasp. I feel like it's just the metaphor within of how he's trying to keep his life sort of normal.
Yeah.
And that's why he was so
Okay.
happy
I know-
to show Elizabeth Moss the paint. Like he was like, "I've done it. I've picked the right shade." Like
And then he shags a
crazy
pregnant
sort
woman.
of- He does,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
one of the weirder choices in the film. Which I
yeah.
imagine's in the book as well.
Although-
I'm not saying this, but it was a very popular book, wasn't it?
In the book, his sister's alive, and apparently their relationship is a bit incestuous.
Oh, so
You know what, that doesn't
that was
surprise
supposed to be
me,
his
and-
sister
That
then?
doesn't surprise me. But he is, I think he actually is the most boring character in this movie. Out of the ones that are focused on.
Tom Hiddleston did a very, very good job of just playing Tom Hiddleston.
A normal person, pretty much.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very flat
I mean-
performance.
Luke Evans, I think
Yeah.
you feel his character when he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so different. And like
Yeah,
when
it's
he
like
gets
pure rage.
yeah,
It's brutal, isn't it? And real, like.
and the greatest part is when he gets angry, the Welsh accent comes through.
Completely. There's no hidden sort of facade anymore.
Yeah, because it's kind of like it's quite a normal kind of British voice at the start, kind of English,
Yeah.
and then it goes very Welsh when he's kind of really angry.
Yeah, you knew he
I
was
feel like
putting
we need to
real
talk about
emotion
the
into it.
setting.
Oh, the setting it was filmed in Belfast in Ireland,
Right.
so
Yeah, so it's filmed in Belfast, and obviously I'm imagining between the years of 2013 and 2015.
yes,
However,
it's
every car we see,
it's set in the 1970s supposedly, because everyone's smoking. Even pregnant women are drinking and smoking.
Yeah.
So
yes.
basically,
Yeah, but
The
it's
interesting thing I did notice and I had to replay was, you know, when Elizabeth Moss put down her child to watch the television.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I replayed it and listened so carefully to what it said, and it was like the news broadcast was like, rioting on the streets of London appears again, and the prison. There's something to do with prisoners being against going back to their cells.
yeah.
Which
It's
really
basically
intrigues me about this sort of.
it's the classic dystopian. Everything's gone wrong. So it kind of reminds me like
Yeah.
V for Vendetta, the comic book, not the
Yes.
movie. At the start of that,
Yeah.
it's like because it's written by a British author. It has just the first page is just like this county like so Herefordshire, where I'm from. It says there's a shortage of meat from Herefordshire, which shows a bit of
Yes. Is that where
knowledge.
most of the cows in like real world
It's
knowledge, isn't that where all the
well, like the
produce
Hereford bull is
and most
from
of it?
Hereford, so yeah. So
Absolutely.
obviously, it doesn't happen. Like it probably isn't as big as in the book it's said, but it's kind of that like real world thing to show like how dystopian it
Where they
is.
all still go out to their jobs in like
That
the
was
clockwork routine as you see them
I.
leave.
I think the greatest part
It's
was
very-
like it's only really those two guys going to work. It seems like the
within carnage,
newscaster.
that was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes. Ah,
and they look all
moving
like
through the
neat.
broken cars and the just that bing bong of the lift as they enter back into the foyer with their briefcases and their prim and proper suits. It really is just like a massive allegory for all of the the rat race that people live in and the sort of
Definitely, yeah. It
I
feels
mean-
like one of those.
difference in power and positions and
It's so weird.
yeah.
It's
Hmm.
it's a confusing film, and I think that like it's I don't know if I don't know if it's set in the 70s. It was just like when I was kind of
I
researching
think
about
it
it.
was, yeah.
All the cars and the
Yeah.
interior decoration was very 70s, wasn't it?
Uh,
Except the top floor, which was a very
yeah.
modern, not inside his house, but like the actual architect's white
Postmodern.
room. That was very modern and
Which is
absolutely,
different.
yeah. Like seemingly futuristic.
I think there are a lot
What
of
do you
small
think
details.
about the sort of sorry, definitely.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
Yeah, Greg, what were you gonna what's your sort of opinion on the the metaphors and the
Well, it's definitely a sort of way I see it. These people were cooped up for so long, they turn on each other. Really, it's
Yeah.
very reflective on the lockdown. Certainly.
Oh yeah, it's obviously to the
scarily
extreme.
so in our time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think
But it was scarily prevalent to today, which is very strange for a film that came out 5 years ago. Though
I think the-
seemingly plucked.
the greatest little moment probably. I say greatest, probably isn't, but when Royal is in the kind of foyer, and the police officer just comes to the door and is like, "Everything all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like
Yeah,
No, it's
we
not.
can't, sort out. It's one of those scary.
because it's
That's the only character that comes in from the outside in like the whole of the film, isn't it? That's all we see.
I,
No, literally.
that scene, the scene where Wilder, so Luke Evans, gets chucked down the side after getting beaten up, and he just walks straight back in.
It's
like-
like, what you doing?
It's like you could have just.
It's almost like
fucked
a
off.
prison itself, isn't it?
Yeah,
Whether
it's supposed.
like when Wilder,
Oh.
what's his name, and Tom Hiddleston's character went outside and they were like, I can't remember where my
Like ours, yeah.
car is. Like, how weird were those sort of moments?
It's
super weird.
If you
strange
take it-
sort of-
if you
have to
take
be
it
in a
as that-
definite place to watch it, don't you?
Yeah. If you take it as a prison, though, if there is a line about prisons in London, then you kind of. It's a bit of kind of. Not foreshadowing, but light foreshadowing, like. Hinting, like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe this is the prison.
Definitely.
But
Yeah,
these
no,
people
definitely
don't want to
hinting
go. It's. Also.
This is very. Have any of you seen The Platform on Netflix?
No. I've
Not
not.
yet. It's on my watch list.
It's like I won't put any spoilers for you guys about
Yes.
levels of power in a complex like the
Yeah.
high-rise tower itself, and very similar
okay.
to high-rise. It never really tells you the position of the people. it sort of it will tell you the explicit positions of like, the person you're meant to know is in charge,
Oh, right,
on
yeah.
the top floors
Yeah.
and the bottom floors, but it never really keeps you in that certain state of where your protagonist is and stuff like that, which I found so interesting. And
Well,
clearly took some homage
I
with the
think
book.
I've worked it out a little bit. So, Munro, is it? The student?
The
one who dies.
yes,
So,
Yeah, same.
he's on the top floors.
the one-way trip to the bottom floor.
Yeah. So he's on the top floor because his familial relations, his family.
Yeah.
And then you look at Lang, whatever, Tom Hiddleston's character's floor,
Yeah.
and you've got the maintenance guy, you've got the dentist, and then you've got the he's a neurosurgeon or something like that. I can't remember what it is properly, but it's all like that
Yeah.
physiology, something like that. But it's all like that kind of higher up, but not higher up. So like the dentist and the doctor and the engineer, but they're all lower
Upper middle
down.
class.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I think Wilder's on that floor as well, and stuff like that. But
yes, I'm pretty sure they were just a couple. They were the one. Oh no, yeah, Wilder's on that floor.
yeah, that was the one thing that was a bit unclear, like because they kept moving around and stuff. It was like who's on whose floor, like maybe
Well, everyone did, yeah.
because we know that Shearsmith and the maintenance guy
Yeah.
recognise him, but only small roles. Yeah, they're on the same floor
Yeah.
because they're at the
It's
start.
like the TV sort of characters and adverts.
Is it Charlotte or something? I've forgotten.
It's
The one who slept
Yeah.
around.
was Sienna Miller's character.
Yeah. So when she
Yeah, Charlotte.
when she comes down, where is it her? It's her or Helen or whatever. I've forgotten their names. I've forgotten the names now.
Which scene are we on about when she comes
So-
down to?
He has so there's the woman in his apartment, and she leaves, and then Shearsmith is like, "What's going on here?" And he's like, "Oh, it's fine."
Oh yes, Helen.
Yeah.
Wilder.
Yeah. So that bit, you kind of get, oh yeah, she's on the top floor, and the other one is Charlotte, or whatever, is on the floor above as well. But then
Yeah.
Wilder and stuff like that, it's like we need to see where these people are because
Yeah.
we get the upper floors, but then I can't really see why you'd place some of them above each other.
There's
Like-
not much
What-
geography
we're
to
talking-
it.
What
No.
40 floors was the top, wasn't it? It's like
Yeah, on the
certain floors
40
that we don't get to
yeah.
see talking about, and I don't think we get to see anything of like floors 1 to 20.
No, because
So it's kind of an interesting
floor 15 is the
dynamic.
shop. Floor 30,
shop, which is
yeah.
Can we just talk about the shop for a minute? Like that was such a clever, like it's doing all the metaphors about the capitalism.
Oh my
At the
God.
end with was it Margaret Thatcher's speech
I think,
on the?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Thatcher.
It sounded like Thatcher.
I think what's great about that is obviously there's a lot of small details in the supermarket that so obviously the biggest thing that happens is the French thing
I think it
at
might
the
be
start.
a bit technical. I think it was a bit of a technical dropout then. For
Did you hear any of?
Oh, was it?
Did you hear
I
anything?
didn't know.
Well, basically, what I was saying is, the French bit when it first goes to the shop and it's like, oh, there's this deal on French,
Yeah.
and then obviously he
that
gives
bit, that's such a
and he
cool
gives the
little-
French book. But there's actually, don't know if you've worked in a supermarket, probably haven't, but
No.
basically, there's a difference between soft fruits and hard fruit. So when the
Okay.
power goes out, and it shows the supermarket, and it shows the apricots, no, nectarines or something like that.
Orange?
No, it's not. Nectarines or something. But they are mouldy. But before that, it passes over a shot of the apples, which are still fine. Because in the real world, apples are hard fruit, which don't go mouldy as quickly as soft fruits. like neck ring.
Hmm.
So that is some really detailed, like, he could have easily
I loved
gone,
how they used it
apples are
as a
gone.
metaphor. Yeah,
Yeah,
where it showed the first tray, and only one was like mouldy, and it's
and then
almost
it
like
gets
suggesting,
darker.
like, that one bad fruit within the group, sort of, as in
Yeah.
like how the film sort of works. The one spreads to a many, and then when you see the last tray, it's completely gutted out, and they're all completely moulded.
No
So
one's
it was
going
a
to eat
nice
in
little
that.
visual.
Yeah. There's so many
It was a
layers
beautiful
to
little
it.
metaphor.
Well, it's the different floors. I mean, floor
Yeah.
30 is the
Hey.
gym.
Oh,
Well,
mm.
he's on floor 25, I think.
Yeah, I believe
Yes.
he's right in the middle.
Yeah, he's 25 or
So
something like that.
he's neither higher class or lower class.
Yeah, which makes sense
A
for
good way
the
to put the
dentist and
protagonist.
the mechanic and stuff, or the engineer, because they
Yeah.
are the ones who, like, they're important, but they're not like the highest paid as such. Or
They're important, but they're not allowed to live in luxury yet. Like, it's a very interesting.
well, it's kind of well done because of obviously Monroe or whatever the guy's name is, because it's the family connection. He's up there because of that, and it's like their wives and
I
stuff.
don't mind who takes it away with this, but what do you guys think about how it began, and sort of how it showed us that first bit before? Was it 3 weeks earlier? Or
Yeah.
Three-
It showed the aftermath.
3 months, 3 months, isn't it?
months?
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 months. What's your guys' opinions on the sort of cold open that we got?
I'll let you go first, unless you haven't got anything.
Well, personally, I think it's sort of, this is where it's all going to go. You know,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I just
And
thought it
this
was
is,
kinda
and then
strange
this
because
is
I
how it
think
got to it.
it sort of set up Reece Shearsmith and Tom Hiddleston's characters to appear like some sort of antagonistic. That's sort of how I read it. It was like, you saw like a dog,
Yeah, the dog dies.
some human
Yeah,
dead
you
bodies and stuff.
eat
The other
dog.
guy
Really
dead.
Exactly, it really put you in a weird position to start with, to care about, because I think there's a mention of it's like, Reece Shearsmith's like, there's only one of us left and all of that and stuff. Have a look at him and stuff. It's kind of a very strange position to put us in before throwing us into this very normal 9 to 5 life.
I think
I think I'd have preferred the thrill or the edge of seat action of it if they didn't show us that at the start.
yeah.
Because as Greg, like, when I was watching it, obviously Greg was saying how it reminded him of like Kubrick and sort of the sort of psychodrama inside your head sort of action. And it would be like, sorry for mega spoilers here, but it'd be like showing you the picture at the end of The Shining, at the start of The Shining.
Oh yeah, that would.
Oh,
It'd be
definitely,
like. It would be like that, yeah. It'd be like if in Star Wars, whichever one, they were like, oh, and the
Yeah.
Death Star gets blown up. Let's see how it happens.
In the title roll credits,
Yeah.
coming down.
Yeah.
Star Wars: A New
I mean,
Hope.
well, to be fair,
Everyone
Episode
dies
9 did that.
and-
Episode 9 did do that, didn't it? The
And-
Emperor Palpatine's returned.
Really.
If you don't read
Somehow.
this, it's, And I
And
think
it was just one of those, a misstep, I believe. Just
Yeah.
It really was a misstep for me as well, because
Hmm.
I feel like I could zone out for a little bit when Tom Hiddleston was, bringing up the paint again. When he was actually getting his ass handed to him for a small moment with the paint situation. No suspicion of me was like,
No,
he
totally.
could die, or this could turn out bad for him.
I
He
was,
was,
I don't know, like, the whole fact that he's like, he goes to third person mode, and it's a bit like, why?
Yes.
Because he wasn't really involved. He was kind of there, and it was
No,
other
it's
people.
incredibly passive.
he was a passenger, wasn't he? Completely.
Yeah, he was a passenger, so why does he go so, like, mental?
Yeah, he lets everything happen
I mean-
around him, but doesn't get involved.
Because even at the start, when he's
Thanos
just
at
like,
the end, it's like smiling in the happiness.
yeah, but no, but even at this, towards the start, when he's just like, when the power starts, and he's just like, oh, it's, it's still settling, or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Oh,
And it's like,
well,
he's
yeah.
he's trying to take a like stand of like, oh, don't get too kind of aggressive, essentially, because he's heard this other information. But then he's also being like, oh,
I'm
I'm not siding with him, I'm just giving you
That's
what I
exactly
know.
Like, I'm reading so far into this now. Get ready for the most like crazy of things. But as Greg was mentioning in our little private chat before this was how it's similar to Snowpiercer, and obviously Snowpiercer's linked a lot with like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and stuff. I see the architect of this building as like seeing Tom Hiddleston's character as the weird sort of heir to the control of the building because of
It's
that
very
protection
Willy
level.
Wonka, yeah.
And to see that
Oh.
after one
Yeah.
one chat with the architect, he was like, "The building is settling. You know, the building knows." Me and the building having a little private DM chat. Like, it's such
It's
a
very
strange...
sentient, yeah.
I think
But it was
there's
after
some
one
good-
chat. I don't think it was earned. It probably is in the book. It's earned probably like massively.
No,
It's like,
no, it isn't.
Him and the building are some symbiotic connection. Is it not?
supposedly,
Oh, that's brilliant then.
supposedly in the book, Royal tries to get out of the squash game with him, and it's like he's not really
Right.
a prominent part of the book. And I was like, what are they doing then? Like, because he kind of
They made him a weird antagonist, but he's a nice guy. Like, he doesn't really do... I mean, he's got some shady pasts with, you know, like, Sienna Miller's character.
and that wasn't in the book
he doesn't
either.
do anything actually antagonistic. Exactly.
He is the
They probably
nicest.
made a character out of him in the film.
Yeah.
He's the nicest bad guy that isn't a bad guy because he doesn't actually do much bad.
Because he doesn't do anything bad.
He's just like
Yeah.
Really?
the thing is, right, at the end when he dies, before that point, he's trying to do stuff, and then just, like, he tries to fire his like kind of bodyguard dude or whatever, and he's like, "I don't work for you. I work for the building." It's like, well, one, I thought that he owned the building, so
Yeah,
what's
he
going on
created
there?
the building.
Well, I made the building, so...
Yeah,
what
and
you
then
on about?
and then two, it's like, so if he's not the one in charge, why is he the one who dies? Like, surely there's other people.
Do you think that was the bodyguard sort of falling for the same thing as Tom Hiddleston's character, Mr. Nondescript Lang? Do you think it was a sort of similar thing? It's like
Oh,
they
it's
just
I think it's
fell
Robert or
underneath the
something.
building again.
Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
Lang.
Dr. Robert
Yeah.
Lang.
Yeah.
It's like
Such
it's
an
another-
unforgettable character
it's
that
just
we don't
another
even know
moment
his
where
name.
The building, exactly. That's a very good point.
It's just he kind of like the way he says it.
To say it's infuriating is
You sort of mean by I like it and don't like it at the same time because it
No,
feels like Wilder to go back to that. Like every scene that Luke Evans is in when he's like angry, you're just waiting for something to happen.
Oh,
You're like, oh, what's going to happen now?
you
But
can't
when
take
it's-
your eyes off
snap.
it. That's
Yeah,
the best
but when
sort of-
it's Lang or whatever or Lane, you're like, oh, now for some more depression, pretty much.
Yeah. He's
'Cause
gonna
he doesn't
paint his
do
room
Film
again.
has so much merit as like a cinematic piece, but just the when the side storylines, like the pregnancy and the sort of weird cultish behavior of the top floor,
Oh.
it's there when they take precedent over the story you're actually trying to tell. That's when you know something's gone wrong, and yeah, I'm not saying that's taken away from the film as a whole. Like, it was a very well shot. It was very, in moments, very well acted.
The only thing I'll say about the
Don't like
directing,
characters, but it was yes.
you know at the start, when he goes to
Yes.
meet Royal and they're in the garden,
Hmm.
why did it keep going to these weird long shots that are never used ever again? It's a bit. It felt
Yeah.
weird. It was out of place.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. It wasn't showing you the like how small they are on the building because it wasn't far enough out to show the entire building or a big part of it.
Because obviously they're not
Yeah,
on a
totally.
massive building, is it? So it's really strange, like when they're filming. So it's if they were doing their wide shot, they should have
Yeah.
done some sort of CGI composition where you can see them on the 40th floor of a building.
The thing is, right,
You're very right.
when I watched it again today, I looked on the right of the screen because on the left of the screen it's all like the roof. It's all like the garden.
Yeah.
On the right, you can see down to like other bits, and it's just like a construction yard because that's what it'd be like, which is boring. So
Yeah, especially like when he left him on the roof, like when he was like, "We're sort of done. We'll play squash at this time." I was
Yeah.
forced to look in the bottom right as well, where you could just see behind, but it was just dead space. And obviously, one of the filmic rules is like, as screenwriters ourselves, and when we talk about different stuff like that, it's like you don't need dead space. Dead space is what you try to avoid in films.
No, exactly. It's like
And
TV. You
products
can't
like
have dead air.
Exactly. There was dead air and there was dead space quite a lot in the film,
Yeah,
which maybe is a personal preference of the director. However, we've seen other of his, like, is it Free Fire and
Free Fire is all inside pretty much, apart from the start.
exactly.
Yeah, it's set in one
It's a very high
location.
tempo.
Yeah, I know he's directed 2 Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah, I believe he did
four-
Deep
four-
Breath and
yeah.
Into the Dalek.
Yeah, so I was my mate James did recommend watching those, like, but I thought, I'll stick with just those 2 movies first. But I think
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
the
Kill List
Free
and
Fire.
Sightseers get a lot of good sort of rap as well.
I've heard of those, but I haven't seen them because they're not on Prime as well. But
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough, like,
but and obviously because he's not exactly a like well-known director. You're not.
no, true.
If you said, "Oh, I'm going to see the new Ben Wheatley film," you'd be
Who would go
thinking, "Yeah, who's that?"
It doesn't drag in
But
the same amount of.
you say Tom Hiddleston, or maybe Luke Evans or something like that, then yeah. Same with
Exactly.
Army Hammer. Yeah,
Brie
Yeah.
Larson, your
Yeah,
Armie
Brie
Hammer, your
no one went to
Yeah,
see that
Cillian
film
Murphy.
because of the director, really.
oh yeah, Cillian Murphy was like a big ploy of it, wasn't it? He seems
Yeah.
he seems to be making the right moves. I think, like as a whole, like he's been doing a lot of good sort of. I would say
They're
overall, I
wacky.
like his products.
I think
They
the
are.
thing
They're
is,
weird. There's Annie. They're especially Kill List as well. That's a and
Thing is,
Sightseers is about like, a pregnant woman and her husband killing people around England's like national resorts. You know, like Stonehenge and
Well,
forests. It's like a comedy about a couple that kill people.
Quite the bucket list.
what was I going to say? Free Fire. To
Yeah.
go a bit off, right? My biggest problem with that film, just a small bit, is it's very much just like it's very action heavy, but there isn't much action. Like it's very much bang bang talk, bang bang talk, and it's like by the end of the film, I thought that film could have been like 40 minutes shorter. Just you cut out all that shooting. Because not much
It's
happens.
weirdly a film of those bits that happen in, like your Godfathers,
Yeah.
your Goodfellas, where someone comes
definitely.
running in covered in blood saying the deal went wrong. And it's like talked about like that. It's basically, I don't know how long it is exactly.
It's an hour and
talking
40, something like that.
No, 1 hour. Yeah, an hour and a half. An hour
Oh.
31. So it's an hour
Yeah.
31. So it's bang on 90 minutes. It's a 90 minutes bottle capsule film of the bit that goes wrong on a deal, which is a crazy good idea. And it's just
Yeah, 'cause you never
but
see
I see
that.
what you mean. It's like you expect the film after though. You expect okay, what do we do about this botched deal? What do we do about this? And it is just
Yeah.
like he seems to like making these sort of bottle capsule films. I'm guessing then, especially since 2015, because
In
as
one
we've
location.
discussed,
Yeah.
it's in one location. Absolutely.
Well, into the
anything
Dalek.
Into the Dalek as well.
Into
yeah, I
the
was
Dalek.
thinking
That is inside
It's all
Dalek, isn't it?
inside.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right, let me have a look at his IMDb, see if he's making anything at the moment.
he's doing a big film, I think. He's doing a sequel to something. I can't remember
Tomb
what.
Raider 2.
That's it, yeah, Tomb Raider. So that's quite a big one.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's a big one, so
Yeah, it's a big step, I think.
I mean, you could tell that they could clearly do it, though. They could make it like to get on the historical and nostalgic about the games. They could literally do like one single setting of like the caves in Tomb Raider. That
Yeah.
might be clearly what they're hiring
Yeah,
him
maybe
for.
a Temple of Doom style thing.
obviously though
Yeah,
the
completely.
to have Tomb Raider, it needs to be you've got the story, and you can do the story starting up in the cave. You can say, "Oh, look, we're on an adventure," but in a lot of films, that would be a bit like a cold open, where they're on the adventure
Yes.
in the cave already. So for then that entire film to be in the cave might feel a bit off, unless it was
Yeah.
really, really good, like action and kind of story.
Have you seen the Angelina Jolie Tomb
I
Raider
have
films?
not. Is that the old ones?
Well, the first, yes,
Or-
from like the 2000s or the late 90s. Well, you have
I have
basically
not.
just described the first one. She gets off a boat, she goes into an underwater cave, she does the cave bit, and then big cold open, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft,
Yeah.
like Angelina Jolie. Like, I have a feeling, obviously nothing's confirmed like this, it is a direct sequel to the 2018 Alicia Vikander starring.
I think it is. It's weird that, isn't it,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider? Because they did the reboot of the games, and then they reboot the movies, which I haven't seen
It wasn't very
because it's
successful,
Tomb Raider.
was it? Yeah.
No,
it's
that's
Tomb
the
Raider.
reason I didn't see it, because I was like, I wonder if it's going to be crap. And then I didn't hear anything about it,
Yeah.
so I assumed
watched
it was.
but honestly, I don't think I have an opinion on it. It was a Tomb Raider film.
Yeah,
It was
precisely.
what
It's
a lot of game creation into film sort of turns out to be. It's a bit just like what we've seen before.
Tomb Raider.
It did nothing
game-
groundbreaking, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Tomb Raider the game is basically female Indiana Jones, and you're playing the adventure.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun. It's like if you
It's
watch the
draw.
movie.
That's exactly.
Yeah, if you watch a movie of GTA, it would probably, if they tried to do it like you play it, it'd be boring as hell. You'd be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
driving around corners and running over people and shooting people, so interesting.
Yeah.
But like when you're playing the game, it can be
completely.
fun. Same with Minecraft movie. Like,
We don't need
just
it.
wouldn't work.
if anyone does that, then
You
they're an
need the
idiot.
character,
Like,
don't you?
that is, yeah.
So
I-
I was just doing a little bit of background research, and the director of the original Tomb Raider hasn't done anything since.
Oh no.
And seemingly I believe he's a Norwegian film director, and honestly hasn't done anything.
Well, how old is he?
No, he's literally done nothing since 1973. Okay, so he's a seemingly young director then.
Maybe that's why though, because he could kind of get a bit better. Maybe. No.
It seems they've handed it over to a more successful, e.g., the director in question.
Yeah. See, the thing is, right, High Rise and I think Free Fire, not sure about Free Fire, High Rise, apparently, according to Wikipedia, it was critically, like, it had a good critical response, but it had a bad box office because of the fact that it isn't a film that people are going to see, really, is it? Like,
No.
it's a weird
Like
one.
BBC three-parter, didn't it?
Yeah, it's not
As
one.
films go.
It's not a film like. Now, if you put Stanley Kubrick on that film, people go and see it because it's Stanley Kubrick. But
Yeah.
you put Tom Hiddleston in the lead, Luke Evans, thingy, what's his name, Royal,
Hiddleston.
Oh, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
You put them in the film, you're gonna get some people, Obviously, this was when Loki
Shit,
was.
It made a loss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge loss, yeah.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
I have a feeling
It's a multi.
if this came out in 2018, when Tom Hiddleston was a bit bigger because of Loki, and he had just become a hero in Thor Ragnarok, people might be like, "Oh look, Tom Hiddleston's new movie. Let's go see it."
Yeah, I think you're right for sure.
But and
like Godzilla, no, not like Godzilla, King Kong. Sorry, Kong Skull Island. Like Tom Hiddleston was a draw. Like him and
He was a
Brie
draw.
Larson
Yeah.
both
but even
Ben
then,
Wheatley alumni.
yeah, even then though, it was the draw to Kong Skull Island was one Kong,
Big monkey on island.
yeah,
Yeah.
big monkey, and it had a good cast. This
Oh,
had a good
brilliant cast,
cast. This had a good cast too.
Dear,
But it-
wait, Free Fire made a loss as well. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That because they're not the kind of
3.8
films people are
million
going to see.
box office for a $7 million budget.
Oh, that's
Yikes.
That's a rough one. I'm not sure why he's been
yeah. Why is he getting?
given Tomb Raider if Tomb Raider 1 made a loss as well.
That's not good, is it?
And I do want to repeat and like sort of put across again. I do like the Ben Wheatley films, as I'm.
Oh yeah,
had a
same
talk.
here, but
He's a great director.
What we did and didn't, and
so
this is starting to make. We're sort of pinning the dots together. That this might be a bad idea.
I think so.
oh, this is it.
Amy,
But if you look at his
Amy Jump as well, where you guys are talking.
if you look at his filmography, I'm going to go on Wikipedia for this one, right? So,
Absolutely.
Free Fire, he wrote, directed it, and edited it. High Rise, he directed it, and edited it. And he's directing the Tomb Raider film. So,
and co-writing it as well with this Amy Smith, who has also done High Rise, Free Fire,
Oh no,
Sightseers. They seem to be a big partnership that isn't as it's very well critically received, but however not very well financially received.
No.
he's done 5 films with Michael Smiley.
It's free. Wow, interesting. So clearly he's in touch with the indie British scene, or your adverts, your TV shows.
Yeah, I think
He's got another film coming out called
Rebecca.
Freak Shift with Amy Jump.
I'm not seeing that one on here.
A band of misfits hunt down and kill underground nocturnal monsters. Oh, trivia. Alicia Vikander and Armie Hammer were both attached to star in this project when originally announced, but have since dropped out. So...
They dropped out since they heard Ben Wheatley was directing it.
Yeah, since they'd been on his products before and were going to be on his products further, and seemingly not looking like the best.
I mean, you can tell Free Fire, if you search Ben Wheatley movies, right, Free Fire has Armie Hammer and Brie Larson on the cover.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't tell you that film was trying to get you to go and see it because of those 2 actors, and Cillian Murphy, and, then...
Your man from the A-Team that I forgot his name, and District 9.
There's a guy from the A-Team in it?
Yeah, the one who played Murdoch. The 2009 or 7.
He wasn't in...
Oh, not the original.
No, he wasn't in Free Fire, was he?
Yeah, I think he was. What's his name? The District 9 guy.
Sharlto Copley.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He was heavily wigged up, though. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a tough one.
It's...
Okay, what's our last... what time are we on for this?
We are on...
Let
60
the viewers at home know all the secret
60...
details.
Well, we're just about to hit 63 minutes, so an hour and 3 minutes.
Right.
So we can keep going for a few minutes, or...
Yeah, and discuss the sort of what we're going to be doing next and in the future.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea for the first episode. So, what's your thoughts? What's your final thoughts on High Rise? Just, give it an out of 10 rating and have a bit of why, just short.
You start stuff, otherwise I'll cry.
I'd probably give it a 7. It's a good film, not great, incredibly messy, and loses all its momentum by the end.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 7 as well, because liked all the quirky, weird homages to the different stuff, like Kubrick and with the clean sort of cut characters and everything. So I do like that. 7, and I want to see more, but I'm hesitant that the public won't want to see more.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably. I was thinking earlier 5 because I like it and don't like it, but I don't know if it's 6 to 7. It's 5 to 7 because of the small details and Luke Evans and stuff like that. There's things I like, but then it did bore me a little bit in bits. And I honestly, when I was rewatching it earlier, with 40 minutes to go, I put it off. And then 20 minutes later, I thought I have to finish watching it because Luke Evans has a good bit later on. So I think
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
so. I think that'll do it for this main discussion here. And now just talk about what the plan is going forward, essentially.
Future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, I came up with the idea for this the other week, and the whole idea, obviously, I needed some kind of co-hosts because I can't talk to myself. And fantastically, you
It'd be a
two
very
came
lonely
on.
place.
Yeah, it would be. And so the plan is, I've discussed it with Sam, your friend Sam, and
Absolutely.
I've agreed with him that he's hopefully going to be a regular guest. So
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
maybe every few weeks or so.
Lovely that.
So basically, when we're kind of back to normalcy, we'll try and get some guests on. But I think up until that point, it will probably be just us three and maybe Sam if he comes on. So
Yeah.
we'll try and watch
Honestly, yeah.
one or two different films in the week. Obviously, we'll watch them all, but specific films. And I think if we try and relate these films so that kind of like the ones today essentially we talked about were Ben Wheatley mostly, with a focus on High Rise.
Yeah.
If we try and keep a focus on something similar, so obviously
Genre, a director, a theme.
Yeah,
It's all-
so, like-
I feel like
Oh,
that.
like in
Yeah.
next few weeks we're going to do one about superhero movies and stuff like
Most likely
Yeah.
Cat in the Hat and
that. Cat in the Hat. I think
yeah, my favourite
I was-
superheroes.
I think right, we should actually do a video. So the guy who did The Mask, okay, Jim Carrey movie,
Yes.
right? He did a movie with John Travolta called I Am Wrath or something like that,
Wow.
and it's like a dark film, and it's on Amazon. Both of them are on Amazon. So I thought maybe we should try and look at those
Is it
and
like a
see.
sci-fi one? Or is
No,
it
it's not.
Am I
It's like
getting-
it's
God.
basically, from what I remember, it's basically just John Travolta as the Punisher, but not the Punisher.
Oh my word.
Oh, that'd be
So-
so interesting.
Yeah, because so obviously that'll be maybe a future episode of that.
The title of that podcast will definitely be "The Film That Was The Punisher" with John
But-
Travolta.
Rolls off the tongue.
The guy who
Yeah,
made
Ross is easy.
the guy who directed the Mask movie, who then directed the not Punisher John Travolta movie.
The Mask
yeah.
featuring John Travolta.
Oh God. Well, yeah, but so basically, try and take a bit of a relaxed approach to this. Kind of laid back.
Yeah, just stick us
Yeah.
on when you want to vibe.
Yeah, not
Exactly.
we're gonna try and discuss stuff properly. We're gonna go more into screenwriting stuff later on, but obviously those episodes will be more focused, whereas this was kind of a start off focus on
Yeah.
something.
Easy and gently.
So I do hope you've enjoyed this
Yeah.
first
Before we
episode.
throw you off the deep end.
Yeah, and
We'll see
Hopefully-
you soon, guys, I guess.
hopefully you'll listen next
Yeah.
week.
See
Right.
you then.